All right, welcome to the 2023 Metabolic Masterclass Holiday Edition. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and giving me your attention for the next, we'll say like 30 minutes. Like I am super long-winded. I get that. I'm going to keep it like real concise, give everything that you need. So the main goal of this masterclass, and if you guys could do me a favor, I know you're probably doing things. If you could turn on your cameras, that would make me so happy. Like so happy. What's up, Katie? She's here. Coming in as iPhone. I get it. I see it. Or no, she's not. She's got Katie. We got two iPhones. I don't know who you guys are. Nikki's phone. She's in a car driving. Just don't hurt yourself. Awesome. I do encourage you guys, if you are watching this, to go get some blue light blocking glasses, get some like sleepy time tea, get some magnesium, get something to, I don't know, calm down so that we can go right to bed after this, because bedtime's the most important thing for your metabolism. No, I'm just kidding. But I always get kind of jacked up and it always takes me like a long time to calm down. So I started taking my stuff now so that by the time this is over, I can hopefully fall asleep relatively easily. Big things for me. We're traveling tomorrow or on Wednesday, so I have to pack tomorrow naturally. Who packs like the night before or like the morning of your plane ride? Anybody, or is that just me? You guys like all you're all packing like weeks ahead?
I packed the same day.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to Florida. I need like my laptop to do a little work. I need a swimsuit and sunscreens down there. Otherwise, like there's a TJ Maxx right down the road. I can go get whatever I want. Anywho, all right. Again, welcome you guys. Thank you again. I don't want to take up any extra of your time. Big thing today is I want you guys to have 100% confidence that you can go through the next holiday season, not gain weight, not lose weight, but just maintain and build your metabolism. Okay. The reason I say that right off the bat is I think if you're trying a fat loss goal during this time, it's going to be challenging. The reason it's going to be challenging, there's emotions, there's loved ones, there's family members that you're looking forward to seeing, there's family members that you might not be looking forward to seeing, there's stress, there's anxiety, there is like this awkward pressure of, you know, giving the perfect experience to your kids. There's a lot going on, and it's just on top of everything, it can just add challenge, right? So big picture, if we are just giving your body the stimulus to just maintain during this time, we can actually use these added calories in a very beneficial way to launch ourselves into a very, very successful 2024. And quick show of hands, who's tried to diet during the holidays? If you're on the Facebook, hit that like button. Otherwise, if you're here, just give me that reaction. Otherwise, if you guys find the reactions, it's a little smiley face, the plus sign. If you guys want to raise your hand or give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs up if you've ever tried to diet during the holidays. Bonnie's tried the diet, Barb's tried the diet. Just put your hand in the air. That's fair too. And just full honesty, Tiffany's tried it. Not to sound like a dick, but how'd that work out for you? Was it amazing? Did you feel like you got everything out of the holidays? You lost like
No.
20 pounds in this like 4 weeks from Thanksgiving or from Halloween to New Year's? Fucking nobody. Sorry for cussing, but fucking nobody. It's challenging. It's hard. There's extra. Who works in an office that has cookies out? Anyone? Give me that thumbs up again. If you have an office situation with cookies, or a break room with cookies, or like a coworker that brings in cookies, right? And like, they're not always bad either. Okay, so now we have a dilemma. The cookie's good. I want more than that one cookie. Fair. That cookie's not good, but she gave it to you as a gift, so you have like this guilty need to eat it anyway, right? So like it all comes back to there's going to be cookies in your life. There's going to be more calories on the plate in front of you, or there's going to be more anxiety on the plate in front of you. Who could agree with that? That there's just either more calories or more anxiety around it, right? Yeah, there's all the thumbs up. Everything's coming through. At home cookies. Nikki's gonna be home in 2 minutes. Awesome. Sorry, I just read the comments here. Awesome. So it kind of makes sense why, if I wanted you guys to have like the most success, why I wouldn't recommend dieting necessarily during this time. But something very interesting just happened. I got off a phone call with somebody who just recently joined, and she's down 4 pounds. since the end of the challenge. So she's lost maybe even more than that since she started. And she had Dairy Queen cake last weekend for a birthday. She had cupcakes and she had pizza. And her calories on that day were actually 2,500. And I'm not going to tell you guys who, but it was kind of interesting because she stepped on the scale today and she's down 4 pounds for the first time ever. And she has this Dairy Queen cake in her freezer right now. And her old behavior would be snacking on a little bit every day. Otherwise, right now it's just sitting there. And she's totally cool not having it. And it's the only reason she's cool not having it is because I gave her 100% permission to go have it. Isn't that weird how that works? So right now, you guys can all say thank you, but I give you guys 100% permission to go enjoy the holidays. Okay. So what does that mean to you guys? What do you feel like you would miss out? If you could drop anything in the chat, let me know what like you traditionally would feel guilty about. If anything would cause you to like feel like any shame or like I shouldn't be having this. I shouldn't have this much of this thing. Is there anything in there? Firehouse full of treats bought in by the public. Yeah. Sorry, Sarah. I won't drop off my cake for you guys. I get that though. Perfect. Is there anything that you guys in particular that you guys want to address? Because there's some strategies to like kind of let all this happen. Another thing, whoever suffers from emotional eating.
Oh yeah.
I got a whole yeah. Hands up, anybody ever like felt emotional, felt, fatigued, tired, and maybe they're missing somebody during the holidays that's no longer with us, those things, and comforted themselves with food. Anybody in that boat? Some thumbs up coming in. Awesome. Totally get that. Got a thumbs up there. Awesome. So the first thing that I want you guys to understand is that we are emotional. Everyone here, everybody in this Zoom room, everybody on the live, everybody watching this replay, you're emotional beings. And everybody always tries to go with diet and nutrition. It's just calories in, calories out, right? Just burn more calories than you take in, right? I don't think that gives you any credit for like actual being humans. You're not a race car. You don't just ride around this like track. When you get low on fuel, you just fuel up. Like, how easy would dieting be if that was the case? If there was no emotion around food, it'd probably be pretty simple, right? But every year we go into and more people are dieting and trying to lose weight than ever. There's more overweight people today than there were 10 years ago, 20 years ago. The numbers keep increasing and increasing, and the number of diets keep getting higher. There's more medications right now than ever on the market for people to lose weight more effectively. And I don't think that's the solution. I do think the solution is everybody to start doing that inner work paired with the outer work to ultimately, lose weight in a healthy way that you could keep it off forever. Does that sound fair? Now, if we do a little bit of inner work, like the mental stuff, addressing the mental side of things, have like a strategy or a plan that you guys could have a little bit more success. One, not gaining. The average American gains 1 to 2 pounds of fat over the next 45 days. Has anybody ever heard that stat before? Has anybody heard that stat other than my emails? That's a better question. So like people always talked about that at the gym that I used to work at. That's why I was thinking about it. And it's always the running joke is like, yeah, it's 1 to 2 pounds of fat, but it feels like 5 to 10. And totally it could come with like a lot of added water weight and just feeling like shit. And then when you go into a diet after that, you haven't done anything to prime your metabolism except you overate for the past 45 days. And the reason you're overeating isn't even like a logical reason why you're overeating. It's 100% like there's more food available. And then it's the reasons that you're eating that just they don't make sense to why. And I guess I'm like kind of talking in a big old circle now that I'm realizing it. But like I said, it's not like you're a race car on a racetrack. You are humans, and there's reasons why you're eating. So Thanksgiving's coming up next Thursday. I already put a post out there, what you guys want to eliminate from Thanksgiving. Drop in the chat what you guys are looking forward to Thanksgiving. I just want to make a point real quick with all the food. So put in the chat exactly what you're looking forward when it comes to Thanksgiving food. Stuffing. Thank you, Tiffany. I love stuffing. My dad makes some really good stuff. It's like the spicy sausage and the mushrooms in there that I like. I don't know about you guys. Stuffing, potatoes, jelly cranberry sauce, bean casserole, mashed potatoes. Yeah, turkey is very overrated to me. And Thanksgiving, it's like the driest bird in the world. Even if it's like deep fried, it's like better than usual, but it's still like not the best meat. Cheesy potatoes, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. Anybody want some gravy? Bad boys. What about, does anybody have like a special treat that their aunt Mima makes or something like that? Anybody have like some special desserts in there? Yeah, desserts Lauren put. Got it, got it. So has that has anybody does anybody make stuffing or eat stuffing that enjoys it? Do they make it outside of Thanksgiving very often? Probably not, right? Like a lot of head shaking, no. What about cranberry sauce? 7-layer cookie. What's a 7-layer cookie? Please tell me right now. I need to know.
I'm trying to figure out how to unmute
Oh, there you
myself.
go.
It's you take graham cracker crumbles and put it in the bottom of a pan.
With
You
melted butter.
soak it with all the butter to make the crust. And then
Yeah.
you've got layers of chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, peanut butter chips, nuts if you are into it, coconut, and then to bind everything together, it's sweetened condensed milk poured over the top of it.
Oh my God. That's what
Sometimes they're called grandma's bars, like you might see them at like a cafe or something, but there's all kinds of stuff on it.
Okay, perfect. Case in point right there. I love this. So we got apple pies. We got my mom's pecan pie. So Sarah, I'm gonna call you out real quick because you've put your mom specifically. And I don't know your relationship with your mom, but if you'd call her up on a random, like, I don't know, Thursday, like, hey mom, can you make me your pecan pie? What do you think she would say? If you want to unmute, you can. Otherwise, I'm just gonna assume that she'd probably make it for you, right?
Well, she would probably think I had gone crazy, but yeah, she would probably make it for
She'd
me.
probably, you know, and like if you have a grandma or an aunt that makes like this very specialty dish, do you think that if you would just like send them a text and be like, hey auntie, I have this weird craving for your stuffing, can you make it for me? I would bet she would. I have an aunt, her name's Aunt Jane. She makes lasagna whenever I ask for it. Granted, I've only asked for it like twice in the past 14 years, but she'll make it every time I ask. I just don't ask. But what I'm trying to drive it is that there's a scarcity mindset around the holidays. I only eat this when it's the holiday season, right? Anybody ever have that scarcity mindset? Like, I'm only going to eat this on this day. I'm only going to eat this way on this day. I'm only going to have aunt's pie or aunt's whatever, or my mom's, pecan pie. Here's some weird, like, I know that when you go to the grocery store today, there's all these stands that are set up for this specialty day. Like there's a stand of all the cranberry sauce and the stuffing right next to the gravy and everything's like easy. Newsflash, or I don't know if you guys knew this, but that shit's always fucking there. All right. Like it's always in the store. You can go make it on a Tuesday in July if you want to. It's just not like the normal thing. But like, so when people say like, I can't wait for it because of X, that X is always available. So just because it's available that day doesn't mean that you have to treat yourself like an asshole and eat a shit ton of it. Okay. So that's the first like kind of mindset out of the way, because I think that's so true for so many different things. Like my wife makes the best sugar cookies. I could ask her to make them whenever I want. I ask her not to make them whenever I want because I probably would overindulge in them often because it's like a stick of butter in each cookie and they stay soft for like 2 months. It's ridiculous, but they're so good. They're called like Kayla sugar cookies. The recipe's amazing. If you guys want one, I guess I can make them. I'll drop them off at your guys' house. Cool. Anywho, there's this like scarcity mindset when it comes to food. It's always there. It's always available. You can go make it other times of the year. It just doesn't taste the same because it's honestly, it's not as special as we like build it up in our minds. Okay. So does that make sense? Did we just squash the scarcity reason why you guys need to go eat like 3 or 4 different plates right there? Can I get a thumbs up if we did? Otherwise, I got another one for you. I'm going to give it to you anyway. So even if you give me a thumbs up, I'm still going to tell you the other tactic. Cool, cool, cool. So we have this scarcity mindset. Awesome. So now let's have a play, a thing that we can go into and we can ride out for the next 47 days. I think there's 47 days left of the year. I don't know. I'm not good at math. I don't even know how many days are in November. I think 30. For the next 45 to 47 days, everybody's doing this with me, okay? I'm going to eat when I'm hungry. I'm going to stop when I'm full. I'm going to go back when I'm hungry again. All right. I get a lot of like blank stares, like, what the fuck, Ryan? I know I'm a grown ass adult. That's super simple. But like, let's just like kind of think about that for a second. Like, all right, lunch is at noon. I'm going to go and eat. Cool. You go eat at noon. For everybody else, when would your normal next meal be? Like 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. So if you have a noon lunch for Thanksgiving, why the heck do you just not stop eating till like the sun sets and everybody's like tired and miserable? Like there's just, you keep going back and back and it's not even like warm anymore. And it's just like kind of like this dried stuffing on top, but you like keep on going back. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm talking to more people, but I always have this one plan. I go in with a couple different strategies for that day. I like to exercise before. If I work out the day like before, I have a less blood sugar spike. That's a weird thing that I found out about myself. I'm not saying you guys need to work out. It's just what I do. I also like to go for walks after I eat. Like everybody's going with me. It's usually cool that day. I just broke a sweat eating a bunch of food. It feels good to get outside. So I go for a walk. Like another strategy. I also prioritize protein. I also prioritize protein earlier in the day. So like I have a very lean omelet with like a bunch of veggies. My first plate is typically protein, which is like the turkey and vegetables. When I snack on everything, I snack on a bunch of vegetables because my goal is to feel full. Because again, I'm an emotional being and I get excited about food. So if I don't do this, I can easily overconsume like a cup of gravy. All right. That's my style. Old Ryan, what I would do is I would have a plate and I have like turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green beans, and everything. And then like I'd fill the gaps with everything. So it's like a full plate, like probably 5 pounds of food. And then I put gravy over everything. And I'd always say I was like, I'm a growing boy. Like I was growing until I was in my 30s. All right. Like that weird thing, like, oh, he's just a growing boy. Like that was my excuse for fucking 14 years after I was done being a teenager. And like it just I never felt good about it. And I never like really I thought that's like what you did on that day because that's what I saw my uncles do, that's what I saw my dad do, that's what I saw everybody in our family do. And it was just kind of like it was normal to overeat. So what I want you guys to try to do is like there's a million strategies and I'm going to give you guys that holiday survival guide, but I want you guys to kind of like have a plan, stick to that plan for any event and then follow through for yourself. Okay. Does that make sense? So like what a lot of people do is like, I'm going to track everything. And the second that they have, I don't know, green bean casserole, like how do you track green bean casserole that Aunt Suzanne made? I don't know. And they give up. Okay. Well, then your plan shouldn't be to track. You already know it's going to have a bunch of hurdles in it. Just don't track. Have an unplanned, untracked, or a planned, untracked day in your diet. Does that sound fair? Like instead of trying to stress about everything, just say you're not going to track anything. Or you could pre-track it. You could do your best. You could go search homemade green bean casserole recipes and put that in there. Better guess than nothing. If you have no idea what's like calorie wise it is, that's something that you could do. Otherwise, like I don't want to like kind of I don't want to patronize anybody, but I want you guys to kind of think progress isn't made in a week and it's not lost in a day. So if progress isn't made in a week and lost in a day, why does the average American gain 1 to 2 pounds of fat in these next 45 days? Does anybody know why that could be? If you had unmute yourself, let me know some theories. I would love to talk about theories. Because obviously I got my own. That's why I'm having this masterclass.
For me, it's kind of been during the holiday season for probably, I mean, a good month. The mindset is just, well, I'm doing so terribly anyway. So you just kind of stop tracking any day or like you just kind of like, I quit for the next month instead of, like you said, like kind of choosing to not track for the one day instead. So
I totally hear you. I totally hear you. And that's exactly what we got to fix, right? We cannot let like a day. Okay. So here's another like mind blowing thing. Thanksgiving is a holiday. Christmas is a holiday. It's not a holiday week. It's not a holiday month. It's a holiday. It's like realistic. It's a holiday afternoon. All right. Like it's a period of time. It's a holiday party. All right. It's a holiday party. But like, how many times does that bleed into like from Thanksgiving literally through January? Like, fuck it. Because who here ever had the all or nothing mentality, the all or nothing mindset? Perfect. So if you're an all or nothing kind of person, who else here has a job? Okay. If you're employed and you're an all or nothing person, like you identify as an all or nothing person, that is like just being very honest. Okay. Who works Monday through Friday, like a 9 to 5? Yeah. It's like getting to Friday at 3 and be like how productive are you, Barb, in those last 2 hours on a Friday? Like, I don't know if things are changing, but when I did that, like I was not productive at all. I would just kind of like cash in, but I was like, I was present, right? So, but if that's your mindset that you're all or nothing, you might as well go to your boss and just be like, I quit. I'm out. I can't give you 100% effort. I'm sorry. Like I want to. It's just fucking Friday. I got 2 more hours to the weekend. I quit. I'm out because I can't be all in. I'm no longer an all person, right? So have you guys ever thought of like I go really deep. I literally journal about all or nothing mindset because it's something that we tackle so often in coaching, right? So like another one like I posted today is like, oh, my kid threw a tantrum and it was like probably the worst one on Sunday night during his bath, throwing his toys out there, like literally looks like he's going to drown his little brother, like couldn't listen to anything. Kayla's super frustrated. All right, buddy. Unfortunately, I can't be an all-in parent right now. Tomorrow we're going to the adoption office. You're up for adoption. I give up. Right? Like I would never do that. But like at the same time, if I was an all or nothing person, that's exactly what you would do. Or my favorite, like all or nothing. So all gym, all weightlifting, all training. If you were an all or nothing person, everybody would look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That motherfucker is an all person when it came to lift weight training. Like Dana Lynn Bailey, she's an all in like weight training person. She's jacked out of her mind. I heard her actually have her first speech engagement ever. It was amazing. So if you're like, you literally go to the gym and be like, well, I don't want to work out, 7 days a week for 2 hours a day. I'm not going to do anything. That's what all or nothing means. Okay. But somehow we got to hang out in the gray. We got to hang on this middle ground where like I'm gonna make the best of my opportunities that present myself. And when it doesn't, like everything isn't going amazing, I still gotta make pretty good. I gotta make do, right? So Nikki, back to you, all in kind of thing or all out. Like I'm all out from this holiday season. That just cannot be the case for you guys this year. Okay, and then but like how do you do that? It's like, well, you realize that it's not that bad to eat a little extra. It's not like the worst thing in the world. So everybody understands that your metabolism is a reflection of your lifestyle. When you undereat and underconsume calories, your body and your metabolism adapts to being efficient at not eating a lot of calories and not burning a lot of calories. It literally down regulates based off that. When you eat too much or you overeat, your body does think of it as like an overabundance, and I'm going to store as much as possible. That's why you get tired afterwards from over consuming foods. But still, it's like if you gradually start increasing your calories today, by the time we get to like, and we use Thanksgiving as like a day, you go enjoy Thanksgiving. Cool. You have extra calories. You had extra fun. You enjoy things a little bit more than normal. That's awesome. You should have some more energy the next day. Like that's how it should work. And then we have those little bit of added calories. You have your normal diet and you just add a cookie or a candy or whatever. And now you're just adding 100 to 200 calories on top of your normal day. That's not the worst thing in the world, especially if you're going through a reverse diet, which a lot of people I know on this call should be doing, right? So does that kind of make sense why we could actually use these extra calories to add to your metabolism, to boost your metabolism, if you stay within this healthy range. If you go too low, your body adapts. If you go too high, your body adapts. But if we're hanging out in this like this ideal calorie range, and we add a little bit through the holidays, like, granted, I think the average American Thanksgiving meal is like 3,700 calories. That's a lot. I'm not going to like say everybody should go eat 3,700 calories in a sitting, but if you have that one day, understand that your calories at the end of the week dictate kind of where your body weight will go down or up. So if you would average out your calories and you had like the 3,000 calorie day, but every other day is 1,500, your average calories are coming to come out right around 2,200 calories per day, which is probably where a lot of people's maintenance should be. So it could actually be a good thing if you're tracking and bringing awareness to it. Okay. Does that make sense, or did I lose everybody? You guys can I get a thumbs up if you're with me still? Awesome. And then if anybody's on Facebook, I don't know, I never pay attention to the Facebook. I'm sorry for you guys. I'm sure you're getting something out of this. Perfect. We're getting some thumbs up. So you can actually use this time to prime your metabolism. So now that we have progress isn't made in a week, it's not lost in a day. We have a holiday coming up. We have a couple of holidays, not holiday weeks, not holiday months. So the only way that you can crush your spirits is if you set a plan and you don't follow through with it, right? Like, I'm planning on tracking every day except Thanksgiving, except Christmas Eve, and except Christmas Day. All right, we have 3 days out of 45. Do you think like all the progress in the world is going to get lost in 3 out of 45? If you do, that's probably a real concern coming from a real place. But I want to kind of encourage you guys, like, the word is like, there's nothing that your body's going to do. It's like, you're not going to shut down. It's not going to feel like shit. But who's this ever happened to? You go to, or you have Thanksgiving at your house and you have leftovers like crazy. And then you're snacking on that cranberry sauce every day for the next week, or the stuffing or the gravy. All right, cool. Totally fine. So what are you guys going to do? If you want to unmute yourself, tell me your plan. What are you going to do when you have the leftovers?
I take them and freeze them. I
Take
make
it.
I make turkey lasagna and I freeze it.
I love it. Yeah.
I take the potatoes and the stuffing and the gravy, and you put it all in a pan, you freeze it, and then you can bring it out, a couple months later or whatever you feel like it, and it tastes good yet, and you don't eat a ton of it.
You know what else you could do? You can make that work in your calories over the next week or two, like two. Like, so, Barb, if that's your plan, I love that. And then put it into a portion. Like, do your best to track like what a pan would look like. Like, I got 5 cups of potatoes in there. I got, so many sticks of butter, whatever. And then you could break it apart, put it in a recipe, and it'll actually tell you how many calories per like 1/8 of the pan it is. All right, cool. Like, I could literally cut out, and then that could be your lunch for the next week. Like, you could make it work. So if like you guys have these leftover situations, you can make it work in your calories. Like, the law of thermodynamics isn't that crazy. If you are tracking everything and you have it in there and you're following everything in a healthy place, you can make anything work. Okay. Who is afraid to like waste food? Who hates wasting food? Anyone part of that clean plate club? Yeah, I say it with attitude because I'm part of the clean plate club. You can do it when you're in the club, all right? I have been a proud member since I was like 4. I think it was because I have this really healthy fear of my father. If anybody's ever met my dad, he can be kind of scary sometimes. I don't know. That's what other people say. Like, I just grew up with the guy. Anywho, check this out. Who here went to the bathroom today? Everybody put your hand up. Even like, okay, this week, man. Who flushed a toilet? Everybody? Cool. So you guys are totally cool wasting drinking water that could go like help those millions and millions of people without like active drinking water every day, because you're shitting and pissing in their water that they would be super happy for. So before you get on your high horse about like throwing away grandma's lasagna or like grandma's turkey that's dry anyway, like, you waste all that water anyway. So now that case and is like shut and done with, right? Like when you're brushing your teeth, like how much water do you really need to like brush your teeth? Not that much, but you do it every freaking day. So before you got on your high horse about wasting some mediocre stuffing, it's cool if you just throw it away. Like, don't be crazy. Yes, it's food. If you want to donate it, awesome. If you have younger kids in college, they'll pretty much eat anything. So just give it to them. If you know any like family friends, there's ways that we could be resourceful and figure this out. But otherwise, I would say if it really causes stress and anxiety, get it out of your house. The same way with like for us for Halloween, we did the switch witch. Like, granted, I don't have like the best relationship with candy. If it's there, I tend to eat it. And granted, I'm in like a cool place right now where I can eat a lot of calories and not gain weight, but like it just didn't feel good. Like I felt more inflamed. I felt more bloated. Like my joints kind of hurt a little bit more. My gums actually get inflamed. Like that's where I feel it first because that's just how my body is. Whenever I have anything that's like too too much sugar, I feel it in my gums. Anybody else get that? My mom said I'm weird when I told her that. Yeah, I feel like in my gums. Anywho, it's like the first place my body gets inflamed, I guess. Anywho, but so what we did is we had the switch witch. Our little guy got to pick out 5 pieces of candy. He put it in a bowl. Those are his. He could have 1 piece a day for the next 5 days. And everything else we put on the porch, or we were supposed to put on the porch. We were at Meyer and he found the toy. But we had him use a switch witch for he got a toy for all the candy. And the candy was gone. I don't know where the candy is, honestly. Like, I think it's in my trunk of my car still. I was supposed to get rid of it, but like literally out of sight, out of mind hasn't been an issue. I could go throw it away tomorrow. It wouldn't be a big deal. Or Kayla, I think maybe Kayla took it to work. I don't know where it is, but like it won't cause that stress and anxiety if it's not present. Can everybody agree with me there? Okay. Perfect. So we're okay throwing away like just okay mashed potatoes and like gravy that probably shouldn't be stored anyway. Or we can make it work into our next upcoming week of calories. Does anybody not have that confidence or not have that plan? Or have any concerns about that plan? Totally cool if you do. Just unmute yourself and like that's what this is for to help you guys with a plan. So if you do, let me know. Good. All right, moving on. Whoops. Sorry. I'm done with that sheet. Now I just have this sheet. I told you I take notes. I'm getting like I'm really prepared. So I want you guys to know like what else could be a reason that dieting doesn't work during this time, or you guys say like fuck it, I'm not doing anything till New Year's. Why do you think that's just like the 2 options? Anyone?
Because you know you're gonna probably go over, and if you just don't try, then you haven't failed. I mean, maybe as a mindset.
Perfect. I love that, Barb. I don't like that mindset, but I love where you're coming from because I think that is super common. I think that's like one of the biggest issues that we can, honestly try to combat. But at the end of the day, also, where is that going to get us?
You're just gonna fail.
Perfect. So like, I would rather like just throw it out there, lay it out there. And does it feel better to not try so you don't have the opportunity to fail, or to fail and learn from it? Because me, I had to fail 10 times before I figured it out in my 11th. Because I woke up every January feeling fatter than usual. I didn't like how I looked at my body. I'm like, now I got to lose weight with the rest of the world. New year, new me. Well, fuck. At some point, it shouldn't be like a new year, new year. New year, new you. Like, what if like 2025, when we're going into 2025, like, fuck yeah, new year, same me. I'm here. I love it. I'm happy. Like, I have confidence. I like how I feel in my skin. I like how I look at food. I like the relationships that I have with, my partner, my kids, like life. Has anybody ever thought about that? Like, what are you going to change when there's nothing really that you want to change anymore? New year, like, cool. I'm going to go donate more things. I don't know. Has anybody ever thought about that? Like, what you would do if you didn't want to change anything with yourself? If you were super happy, spiritual, monetary, financial, like real everything. I bet nobody. like, because it's never been a reality. So I would encourage you is like, instead of doing like the fear of failure, well, what if you went all in with like the excitement of hope? How cool would that be? Or maybe not. I don't know. But I hear what you're saying. So I had this kind of conversation with somebody when we were talking about going to like Packer parties. And when you graze, who has a grazing issue? Anybody like to graze on everything that's around you? Yeah, perfect. So when you graze, you are choosing ignorance. I know that was harsh. That was like the most mean I get. Because when you graze, you're just like, you're picking up here. You don't know how much you're consuming. That's like the beauty of the graze, right? Like I can just go and handful here, handful there. Well, what if, call me crazy, you grab the plate and then you were actually mindful of what you put on that plate. And then you made an agreement with yourself that you're going to eat when you're hungry, you're going to stop when you're full, you're going to go get more food when you're hungry again. Then you actually have a plan, and then you're not going to overeat, because like when you're grazing, you're pretty much choosing like I don't care about portions, I don't care about anything, I'm just going to have a little here, a little there, and that's how you graze yourself into like a 4,000 calorie overfeeding. And again, like anything that I say is, when I laugh, like it's because that's exactly what I did. Like remember like a Packer party where I went back and I added up everything, and I was a very generous portion. So I was like half cup of buffalo dip, half cup of spinach dip, like 24 Ritz crackers. Oh my gosh, this one particular Packer party had crumble cookie, and I tried a quarter of 8 cookies. So like math wise, that's 2 full crumble cookies. So that's 1,400 calories right there. And it was amazing. But side note, didn't feel great afterwards. When I was like between this 3-hour stretch, I consumed over 4,500 calories, I believe, in that one day, like 4,500, I think. And I was literally just grazing. So, and I'm not saying everybody has the same eating habits as me, but I was like, when you choose to be ignorant, I never would have known that unless I had just decided to track it one time. So you go pre-track, you could go post-track, you could just write it down, you could take a picture. I don't care how you do it, but if you choose ignorance and you choose to not bring ultimate awareness, then you're kind of like choosing to, let that holiday win over you, because you never feel good leaving that, do you? Right? Like it never feels good when you like beat yourself up for enjoying all the desserts and everything that you'd ever want. You're never like, man, I'm super glad I ate that whole pecan pie. Or like I couldn't stop myself from going back and back again for that apple pie or that cake or cupcakes or crumble cookie or whatever, right? Like no one ever feels, man, I feel good about that. Or if you do, then you're probably like, I would be really shocked that you'd still be listening to me right now, because that's a whole different, not even an issue. If that's like what you want to do, that's totally fine. But then your goal probably wouldn't be weight loss or improving your energy. Does that make sense? Is that kind of like being okay? All right. Perfect. So now back to the people that have 9 to 5 jobs. You walk in, you clock in, you check in, you start your work day. You go work. And then you leave that place of business and you clock out. Treat the party the same way, except like in reverse. So you go into the party, you go have your untracked meal, you go enjoy life, you enjoy the party, you enjoy the holiday, you enjoy your family and friends. You really reflect on all the reasons that you're there, and it's not for the food, it's for the people. So connect with the people. And then you walk out the door, and this is the good shit. It's back to business. Get back to your plan. So for Nikki, when you said that you like have those days that like kind of string out afterwards, you're back to business. You're back to your plan on Friday morning. So what I like to do, personally, you guys like know I like walking, right? Like I like to walk. Do you guys know why I like to walk? Is it, have I ever talked to like the reasons why? It's not because I like getting steps in, or like it's not. Like I don't just like, man, I'm like, I wish I could compete at this walking thing. That's not it at all. It's not my competitive side. Does anybody know? If you know why in the chat, why I love my walks, unmute yourself. Or before we even go into like me, who here likes to walk? Why do you like to walk? Unmute yourself. Let me know.
I like to walk because it's alone time for me. I can just think.
Perfect. Megan, Lauren, Nikki, I saw your hands go up. Lauren's trying to unmute
So
herself.
I would think, I mean, I like to walk. I mean, I do like to, I mean, it just feels good after I've done it. And I know it's good for like your blood sugar after eating and things like that. But I have to also imagine that, like you're saying, go for a walk on Thanksgiving after your meal. Well, part of that is now that's a half hour or an hour that you are out of the kitchen. At least I'm thinking this for me, that, you know,
Yeah.
like you're away from the food and the temptation, and it's like a distraction from eating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
100%. 100%. Lauren, why do you like to walk?
I think it's just a really good way to just jumpstart your whole, like I personally like to walk in the morning. So I just like to get out of bed. I like to be out in nature, feel the sun on my face, kind of way to just start my day and be thankful for what is going right. And just to kind of give me the energy. I'm way more patient after I go for a walk.
I love it. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I like to walk. I walk every day. I walk my dog every day for like an hour. I usually walk, but I usually like go on my lunch break. I work from home. So it's just to kind of like get away from my computer and just, kind of decompress, be outside, get out of the house.
Totally.
And then to just like enjoy being with my dog.
I love it, Sarah. So how come nobody said because it increases your capillary density of your arteries and it's better for blood flow and like it's really good for your heart health? Like none of you guys are saying that. What's up with that? That's why you walk. No, it's not. It's got so many other benefits. Also, for us nerds out there, like, hi, my name's Ryan. I like nerding out on this stuff. Did you know that just 5 minutes of slight activity as a walk can decrease your like insulin response by like 30%? Like, so your body doesn't have to. Do you guys know why? Like, all right, I'm not gonna get into like too much nerd. Basically, when you start moving muscles around, you start moving. One's gonna help with digestion, so it's actually gonna like slow down digestion a little bit because it brings blood flow away from your digestive tract, which is really good for releasing your blood sugar like more slowly, so that insulin doesn't have to spike up because your blood sugar doesn't spike up super fast. So also it opens up your like your muscles, so like the blood sugar can get into the muscle a little bit more readily. It's like easier. It's also why you shouldn't go swimming immediately after you eat because like that's too much activity. But a nice walk, like anybody can do it. It can help with your insulin sensitivity. It can help you get you out of the kitchen. Fresh air. If you're in a kitchen in general, anywhere in the world or in the United States or like a stuffy home in the Midwest, fresh air, it just feels good. It tastes better. Like it's a very beneficial. So like, I'll be in Florida for Thanksgiving, by the way. So what's up? I'm going to get my walk in. I'm going to go for a family walk. We're going to eat around 3 and at 5 o'clock, I plan on like just asking everybody like, let's go for a walk or let's go for a little swim. Let's go into the water. Like I just said, don't swim. But, like I'm not swimming laps. Okay. I'm like throwing a 4-year-old around. Very different. So I just want you guys to kind of like have a plan of how to like feel the best on that day. I'm talking more for Thanksgiving right now, but back to you walk in, you go enjoy the party, you walk out, back to business. I think a lot of people struggle because their back to business is undefined, right? Like I think Barb, you kind of mentioned it's like it's easier to not feel failure when you don't have like a plan in place because then you're not following a plan. It's just like I'll figure it out later, and I don't like that. I don't think that it's what's going to get you to your ultimate goal. You can't just be like, all right, I'm going to decide to go all into myself and then like decide to like go out for like 2 months. Because if you go out for like a month, month and a half, it's going to be harder to get started. Like everybody knows how momentum works, right? You know, a really cool thing about momentum? Momentum carries a roller coaster from beginning to end. Isn't that like, okay, let's talk about like the traditional ones, but like not the extra like added weird loop de loops. I'm talking about like the highest point because of the momentum carries it through every loop all the way to the end of a track for like traditional roller coasters, not hydraulic powered new ones or any fun things. But does that make sense? Because literally the energy that starts it finishes it. What if that was your like your diet and nutrition plan? The amount of energy that you took to start it, like it does take time, it does take energy, it does take a plan to get started, but then you just build these stacked momentum, these wins over and over, and then that carries you all the way to your end goal. Like I'm looking at Ryan right now, and I feel like you are building momentum continuously. But like Ryan, I don't want to scare you, but like, what if you broke your leg tomorrow and you couldn't work out for like 2 months? The only reason that I'd be like okay with Ryan doing that because I think he can just kind of step into almost any goal and calorie wise and make things work now from what Kaylee tells me. So she like, all right, you can't move, your activity goes down, we're gonna eat a little bit less, but it's still gonna be enough to support your metabolism. And then right now he's feeling very good from his workouts, from his momentum that he has. It's very easy to get back on when you have a really good relationship with it. Who's ever done like HCG, Optavia, Weight Watchers, Noom, something that kind of sucks? Sorry, I'm like, yeah, I'm throwing it under the bus. It fucking sucks. You want to know how I know it sucks? I fucking did it. They're miserable. I felt tired. I felt lethargic. My workout sucked. My sleep sucked. My libido sucked. Everything about life sucked in a very negative, I'm not happy I did it kind of mentality. Okay. Do you think it's more challenging to jump back onto that plan after a Thanksgiving meal? Like tenfold, right? Because inherently you don't want to be there in the first place. You know, you're going to suffer all the way to your end goal. And then you're probably going to fall back to like old habits because those old habits are more attractive than that shitty salad greens meal that you had prepped for yourself and like the lean and green day. Like, fuck that. I like food. I want to eat. I'm a human. I tie emotion and like enjoy things other than kale. Also, I'm not even gonna get started. Like, you guys understand what I'm saying, though, right? It makes sense. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is find that plan that you love, that you've built momentum up, that you feel very excited about. So, like, I'm looking forward to getting back on tomorrow. So, me and my plan, I'm very excited right now. Like, I did my calculated 1 rep max. I'm 5 pounds short of my deadlift goal that I set for myself. So if you guys see on my Instagram story, it's like 14 out of 40. So my program is 40 days total, 40 workouts total. And if I show up for those days, I'm going to meet my goal. I'm very confident. If I don't, I'll meet my goal like 2-3 months later. No big deal. Like no one's going to die. I'm going to deadlift 500 pounds before like, I don't know, 2 years from now for sure. Anywho, but what I'm saying is like it's going to happen. I have confidence that it's going to happen. The same way that you guys have to have confidence, like you're going to get to the goal weight, you're going to feel where like the confidence in your skin where you're going to get to. You got to have that hope that you can get there. And if you have a plan that gets you there, that's where you're probably going to get way more excitement of wanting to stay on a plan. If that makes sense, just like kind of give me a thumbs up, say you're with me. But if you've tried shitty plans or you had a bad relationship with something, like no wonder you don't want to start back up on Friday after Thanksgiving. Or, you know, like that whole holiday party, you're like giving into every Rice Krispie treat, every cookie, every fudge, every pretzel, every chocolate dipped, whatever, because you're like, I know January 1st, I'm going to jump on this shitty plan that I inherently don't like. It's going to suck. I'm going to be miserable. I know I'm going to be tired. At least now I get to enjoy this, like these extra 4 glasses of wine because I can't have like a fucking glass of Chardonnay is like 18 points or whatever Weight Watchers. I don't know the actual point system. I don't know what it is. I just assume like I know on Noom it's a red list. Like anything with alcohol is like a red, except like vodka soda is like a yellow. It's fucking calories. Stupid. Uh, sorry. I got that list one time. I'm like, why is this like, if it's alcohol, it should be on the red if you really don't think that it's good for you. But like, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm a very science-based person. It doesn't make sense to me. So without further ado, it's been 51 minutes. I cannot appreciate it. I hope you guys got a lot out of tonight. Tomorrow night, is I want to make sure that you guys know exactly what to do now. So we talked about like all the strategies. Tomorrow night is making sure that you have that plan that you absolutely love, so that we can ultimately like define where we want to get to, so that we can use this time to prime. That sounded very good. Time to prime compared to fuck it, see you guys January 1st. I'm out. Like that, I think those like that one simple mindset is what's going to get you guys to ultimately where you want to get to, right? And again, paint this picture, like get very detailed, clear. During the challenge, we did an exercise where you define the best version of yourself. I think that's one of the most powerful exercises that you can do, because what you're doing is you're defining your end goal, where you want to be, how you want to look, how you want to feel, how you want to act in every social situation, so that all you got to do is, you know, do the work to get to that point. And then that's a very freeing feeling for me. All right. So super excited about tomorrow. If you guys didn't stay for anything, or if anything popped up, you're going to get this replay into your email tomorrow morning. Do you guys have any questions or anything else that you want to cover tonight when it comes to strategies? I went over a lot. And I think one of the biggest takeaways that you guys could do, oh yeah, I got to give away some money. Sweet. Everybody who stayed here. Shoot, that's what I forgot. Random picker. Wheel of random names. All right. I got. Sorry, I forgot. I should have been doing this earlier. Ryan, not me. Tiffany, Barb, Lauren, Megan. Oh, who are the two iPhones? I know Megan's one. Chevelle. What's up, Chevelle? Hanging out, hiding behind a friggin' iPhone name.
Megan is one of the iPhones.
Yes, I got Megan. Katie, Courtney, and Sarah. Awesome. I'm gonna spin that in a second. I said a lot of things tonight. Can everybody agree that I said a lot of things? Are you all on the same page? Like, there's a lot of information. The best thing that you guys could do, like, lock down on one thing. Like, if you guys took notes, or when you watch this replay, if like, oh, there's something that, you know, he said about that I really liked. I think that you guys should go and like lock down one. Well, that was weird. My phone camera just turned on. Anywho, pick one or two things and like take it to the bank. Like, make that your mantra, your statement, your plan. So if it is like the door frame, like you walk in, you enjoy, you walk out, back to business. Like, go all in on that. You know, if it's just tracking one meal, or pre-tracking what you think a meal could look like, and then just kind of following through, like do something like that. Find one piece of information and like make that your plan. The best thing that you guys can do is make a plan and then stick with it. The worst thing that you can do is make a plan and then say, fuck it, I'm out. I don't want to, I'm not following through with it. Because all you're doing is you're telling yourself that your goals are like, you're telling yourself that that one moment is more important than your goals. But it's also okay, because we talked about the holiday, not holiday month, right? So like, you shouldn't be afraid of a single day. Does that make sense? Are we all cool with that? Cool. A lot of head nods. All right. We're just gonna do $50. Cool. I have that in my Venmo account. I just know I have that in my Venmo account right now. All right, it's spinning. It is spinning. And it is going to Barb. Congratulations, Barb. You won.
Oh,
You hear
thank
the
you.
applause in the background? That's like my other laptop making the sound. Congratulations. So I'm going to, if you want that through Amazon, otherwise Venmo. Do you have Venmo?
I don't, but my daughter does.
Okay, well, I can Venmo
We
her.
can.
Yeah, I'll just cool if I just give you an Amazon gift card. You have Amazon?
Yeah,
All right,
that's fine.
awesome. So
Thank
I'll
you.
just
So
yeah,
much.
for sure. I'll get your email and send that over. Congratulations. And then in the chat, I'm going to drop that holiday gift. You guys, or did you guys get that in your email? I'll put it in here anyway. If you are a client right now, I'm gonna put that in the group chat too. But I got this holiday survival guide. Oh shoot. Oh yeah. It just talks a lot about a lot of the strategies. There's more in here. So if you guys want to open that up, that will be in the email as well tomorrow. So that's the holiday survival guide. And then I do have one more thing. This is also gonna be in the email, but if you guys, some people like seeing this stuff before. You might have seen something similar during the challenge, but this is a 90-day calendar rather than just a 1 month calendar. I copied and pasted the 1 month to 2 more months. So it's not like crazy, but there is an exercise in there to do. So if you click on that second one link, that has a little bit more direction on how to like honestly just crush and show up and like show up for yourself and make it visible, put it on your mirror. It's got the laid out way to create your why and that excitement around it. So I think those two tools could set you guys up for an amazing month and a half that launch you into an amazing January, amazing February, and be in a better spot in February than maybe you've ever been in a February ever before. By the way, February is my birthday month. So you guys know how you have like a birthday. Yeah, I do have a birthday. I don't stretch it into like a birth week or a birth month like my wife does, but February is mine. So my goal is for you guys to all be in a better place in February than you are today, even if you are in an amazing place today, and it can always get better. So 2 minutes to spare. Actually, I went over like by 20 minutes. I said 40 minutes, I think. If you guys do have any questions, just email me and I'll bring them up tomorrow because tomorrow's night is all about implementation, because information without action is pointless. Let that sink in for the whole next 24 hours. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. All right. Good night.
Good night.